Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the HMH 58, and if you haven't guessed by the title, they are the games leading up to and achieving the third mark of excellence in this tank. Now, the games themselves are ridiculous, and it's only down to one thing really, and the only reason I really managed to do it was because of one thing and one thing alone. It's also probably going to be the title, and that is True Vision. True Vision is on again this weekend, 2.0, and yeah, it's a thing that why it's back so quick, who knows. Why they're doing things like this, I don't know. And they've doubled light tank camo, which instantly means it's crazy. And as you can see, that Craft Panther wasn't even lit. Shot it, because I can see it from here. I'm sat in this bush, which means that pretty much nobody else can see me. The camo rating on this tank is now crazy. It's like, what, 65? I think it was 65%, something like that. So the chances of me getting spotted are minimal. I mean, look at our detection range. Our detection range is so short that it's just mad. So we've spotted that Lycan up, see, and we can see him just there. It's like, okay then, I'll just farm him. I'll just you know, yeah, do that. So yeah, True Vision's back. They've doubled light tank camo, so they've made, say if you had 30% camo on a light tank, you've now got 60%. And TD camo went up by 75%, which is just crazy, to be honest. Like, I don't know why they've even tried it like this. Doubling it seems extreme. It's just mental. Like, I don't get that at all. It's meant that light tanks are just now completely, well, I say now, for this test, because stress the test. I mean, I've seen the reactions to it on many platforms, and you're probably looking at 75% don't like it, but I mean there's the whole social media bubble comes into that, and you see what you see. But from my perspective, I've seen probably 75% of people, plucking a number out of the air here, clearly, but don't like it. So if that many people don't like it, it's very unlikely this is ever going to be a thing. Because otherwise it'd just be like political suicide, you know, or game suicide, I don't know. They'd wreck their chances anyway. Like, people just leave the game. If you've got 75% of people don't like something, right, and 25% do, and you bring it in, your likelihood is the 25% that you brought that were happy with it are definitely going to stay. Then you're probably going to lose more than half of the 75% of people that don't like it. So therefore, you're killing your game. So I kind of gather that from when we've talked to Minto as well, is that it's not going to be a thing, especially in this iteration how it is now. They're just wanting test data, and the likelihood of it being implemented like this in the near future is unlikely. But they're a gaming company, you never know. That's worrying. And like the one thing that's worried everyone clearly is the fact that they tested it 3 weeks ago and then they brought it back so fast when it took so long for them to do +1 -1 and loaded dice and stuff like that. You know, the frequency of those tests and events are few and far between, really. And I get the annoyance. My only thing is I wish they'd done +1 -1 next weekend as well. So yeah, +1 -1 this weekend with this event, because they want to test it for their testing purposes. Okay, sure, if you want to keep testing this stuff, then okay, you get +1 -1. But then have +1 -1 next weekend too, so that those that want to play the event but don't want anything to do with this can go play +1 -1 next weekend. You know, I don't quite get the thinking on that, but that's the way it is. But the way the test is at the minute, broken light tanks. It's just made light tanking incredibly easy. Like, I couldn't have done this without the True Vision, and that's because, like, you've seen with this position I was in, and the Object 416 and the T69, I was 120, 130 metres away. They couldn't see me. I mean, we're 280 metres away here. I'd normally be spotted by that guy, probably. without firing. But, you know, he couldn't see me there. He makes the unfortunate mistake of crashing into a rock. The only reason this game, and the game probably after, wasn't bigger, is because this tank is terrible. This is probably one of the worst tier 8 lights, in my opinion. Granted, there might be people that like it, but it's one of the worst. The pen's terrible, the accuracy is terrible, the dispersion values for moving, turning the turret, everything are terrible. It's got a terrible intro clip, a bad reload, it's got a mediocre reload. The clip potential's nice. 900 clip potential is good. And that is very nice. So, this is well, not a key point, but this is a point here, right? I get spotted there, but when I drove past that KV4, I could see him, he could see me, but, well, he couldn't spot me. And that's because of the camo changes. A lot of that has been happening, which is just weird. And we couldn't pen the KV4 because the APCR rounds on this tank are just not good enough to pen the KV4. You have to hit the back for it to pen. 165 on the standard rounds is absolute garbage. There is no hope of penning things, especially when the APCR drop off on it is terrible. It means that if I'm firing at, say, 300 to 400 metres, I've only got like 124 pen. And that's the one thing as well that's helped me, obviously, with 3 marking it. That is +1, -1, because there's many games in this tank, which is another reason why it's absolutely garbage, where you can't do anything because you can't pen anything. You imagine you get a 3-man platoon of E100s, and then you get like loads of stuff like E75s and things like that at tier 9, and then you're like one of the only tier 8s in the game, like Matchmaker does. You just don't pen anything. You really do struggle in that way, and that can really shaft you if the matchmaking's bad, because then if your team's bad, you ain't going to get anything done yourself. And that's just the way it is. But like, yeah, there's so many ways that this tank is terrible that I hated it. I hated doing it. I'm quite glad I've got it 3 marked and got it done. Yeah, like I say, the only thing that was nice is that one occasion when the gun behaves, you get to keep dropping those 300, those 900 damage clips and get the damage in. So we've got Bogora here, who we are going to struggle to pen, even with the 210 heat. We need to be on his side, but he's doing a good job of keeping himself hidden. I don't want to waste the clips, and of course, in not wanting to waste the clip, I end up wasting one. He shoots me in the front, which is another problem with this tank. The engine breaks as soon as you get shot in the front. If this tank ever comes up and you get the chance to pick it up, don't buy it. Simple. But yeah, I make as if I'm shaking like a tree and going, and then think, I'm going to come back. He's going to get distracted. There's another tank coming with him. While I'm reloading, I'll just wait here. He's clearly going to get distracted with this guy, which he does. So we come along, pop one in, side of the turret, finish him off. Now, with this iteration of True Vision, some of that wouldn't have been possible because of the camo rating. That position I was firing from at the start, where I managed to do like 2 and a bit K damage, and especially with where I took up again the second positioning I took, I just wouldn't have been able to use it, because I would have been spotted in between my reloads, and I would have been constantly spotted. I wouldn't have been able to pop up, aim my shots fully, and then fire before I get spotted. I'd have had to pop up, I'd have been seen straight away, and they'd have probably reacted to me. But because I wasn't spotted and kept popping up behind them, in between reloads, there was enough time for them to forget about me, to keep dropping the clips in. So, yeah, it's crazy. And this, obviously, is a look at that detection circle. That's just mental. And this is something I've experienced as well while playing it because of it. As well as camping teams, which the camp has been harder than normal, because people just take up positions where they can shoot across, get free shots of people crossing and stuff, and then just stay there because they get free shots. And then that's detrimental to your game. But this is another thing that's happened a lot as well, obviously, because of the light tank changes. And that's 5 to 6 light tanks a game. I've had no end of games like this. And it makes for uninteresting YOLO fests and very quick games, for the most part. So this was the perfect map anyway. For the end of the grind, for this HMH 58, this was the perfect map. because obviously I can use the camo. I can just keep changing positions, and for the most part, I'm not going to get spotted when I cross this ridge line. And there's quite a lot of times where I do just sit on top of the ridge line, not spotted, and dumping clips at people sat at the back, or YOLOing this ridge. Like right now, I'd be spotted. I got spotted for firing at that LTTB, but there I'd just get spotted when I came up. We get lucky that shot went in because this gun is terrible, and that one hits the floor, so we're unlucky in that. But yeah. That ridgeline sitting there when I was shooting the LTTB, I normally would have been spotted. Just for poking. And then anything that sat up at the like C1, D1, they'd have shot me. Anyone, anywhere really. So there's a light tank at D1, he's just got spotted for firing pretty much. And then he's disappeared really quickly because he's not in a line of sight. The one thing that they've left in with 2.0, I'm just thinking through things with 2.0, so bear with me a little bit sometimes, is that they didn't remove one of the most annoying features, and that is what you've just seen there, and you're about to see it again. He's spotted for 2 seconds, and again, it's just telling everyone where they are. If you're gonna do this, make it so that only the person that's shooting at them knows where they are. Not as in, like, he gets spotted like he did there, where I can see him, where he pops up to everyone on the map and, like, makes it so only I can see that. Don't do that. Just make it so that they don't light up. So they get shot, you see a damage number pop up above the head, but they don't get lit up. See, another one here, look. There's artillery. It's like, oh god, there's artillery, okay. Okay, goodbye, artillery. See, I thought he was going to pull back, so I was like, oh, you know what, I'll shoot the SU-130, but he didn't. So we dump the clip, we kill the artillery, and then we put one into the SU-130. Like, he's playing like he should be. I mean, that train trap position at A6 ain't the best. But normally, with camo, no one would be able to see him until we got probably down to about D3, D4, or anywhere around there. And then he'd start to get spotted, you know. Right here, I'm on top of the ridgeline. I'm firing through a bush, so I don't get spotted. I fire again. Not spotted again. This is the camera rating. Fire again. I never got spotted for that whole clip. Beforehand, I would have done. So I got to dump a free 900 damage clip into that T69 without ever getting spotted. And that's because of the true vision and the concealment mechanic changes that they made, which are crazy. So this is why I'm saying I couldn't have done it without true vision, because I'm just getting crazy clips like that. So I'm just watching to see if there's any TDs sat at the back, which, spoiler, there's not down on the 1-2. But then we look for the SU-130 again. It's like, oh look, there he is. It's like, okay, one. He hasn't reacted. He must be thinking, what's going on? Why am I getting shot? And now he's reacting. The final shell misses, obviously, because we're firing at range with this gun. It's pretty trash. There's still quite a lot left. E25's somewhere. The SU-152 is somewhere. We know where the SU-130 PM is, so I'm watching to see if he's coming back. And then I spot the 416. It's like, okay, he's running away. So let's go over here. Then an E25 pops up. And while these guys aren't playing the best, clearly, because they are just sitting still and letting me dump the clip into them, like, it's just so silly. Like, it's novel for like the first 1 or 2 games and you're going, oh, I'm not getting spotted. This is, you know, okay, this is interesting. And then it gets to a point where you're going, oh, this is just crazy. Like, how is this any good? Yeah, I really don't like it. Not a fan of it at all. So I know where that 416 was, and I'm watching for him. I'm watching to see if he's gone up there, and it's like, oh, there's a 416 there. You didn't notice the TD, did you? You muck up that shot, and you're just not noticing the TD, are you? No, you're not. You did now. Well played, idiot. And the SU-152 blapped me for like 600. Fun, fun, fun. But the team carry it out to the victory, and we finished that game with a high caliber ace tanker, 3rd mark of excellence, sniper medal, and a Confederate. And the 3rd mark in this tank, which is a tank that I don't like. If it had better pen and slightly better accuracy or better stats like that, it'd be okay, it'd be bearable. But for the most part, I just don't like this tank. And I'm not a fan of True Vision. And this game, and I've got a couple more light tank games that are crazy that I'll probably put up soon that just shows why it's a bad idea. So, as always everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.